Welcome back to Movie in Brief. Today I will explain the movie, Voyagers, released in 2021. Astrophysicists discover a habitable planet in 2063 on a planet devastated by climate change. Despite the fact that the 86-year voyage will result in the launch crew astronauts' grandchildren being the ones to visit the planet, a reconnaissance mission is dispatched. The original 30 launch crew members are created through in vitro fertilization and kept apart from the outside world in order to help them deal with the reality that the most of their remaining lives will probably be spent in flight. They are launched as teens on the Humanitas spaceship with Senior Program Commander Richard as their only adult guide to help them get through the initial part of the journey in order to increase their time in orbit. The idea is to do IVF when the crew reaches 24 and then again on those offspring when they reach 24 in order to save resources. Christopher and Zach learn that the grown teenagers are receiving a blue chemical in their food to inhibit their sex urge and pleasure response, which keeps them all obedient and controllable during the 10th year of the trip. When the two stop taking the drug, their hormones rise and they start acting prematurely, competitively, and eagerly to have sex, especially with their crewmate Sela, who has been trained to be the chief medical officer. Richard, the chief officer, is killed during a repair attempt outside the Humanitas to fix a malfunctioning Earth communication connection. The cause of the death is suspected to be an unknown creature. Additionally, additional ship systems are damaged by fire. After Zach gets angry over Christopher being elected as the new chief officer, he instructs the others to cease using the chemical. As many of the young men and women return to their most basic forms, the mission falls into chaos. Convincing all but 5 of the others to follow him instead of Christopher, Zach reveals that an alien killed Richard and promises to protect them as well as allow them to consume as much, very carefully preserved, food as they desire. After dating for a while, Christopher and Sela discover and fix a video disc that shows Zach killed Richard by turning on the communications array's electricity while Richard was working on it, which caused additional system damage. When they reveal the others, Zach manages to convince a considerable number of people that an alien is living among them, inspiring them to carry out mob killings of anybody they want. Zach is accidentally led by Christopher to a hidden compartment on the ship that turns out to contain weaponry that their grandkids can use on the planet. The only ones remaining are Phoebe, Sela, and Christopher. Following Phoebe's death, the pack looks for Christopher and Sela. When the two manipulate Zach into being sent into space, Humanitas is once again at peace. After that, Sela is elected chief officer. Instead of using IVF as had been originally intended, the crew chooses to permanently give up the blue chemical and learn how to control their own emotions. They also opt to fall in love and start a family organically. After several decades, Humanitas and her multi-generational crew reach the planet, which from orbit seems to be exactly like Earth.